Hey, how's it going, everybody? How are we doing today? Today's video, we're going to talk a lot about Darth Revan. This is one video I've been wanting to make for a while. This is a lot to do with more competitive game modes. This is to do with GAC and more in particular, territory wars. Guilds, a lot of guilds right now have been swapping over to some different variations of Darth Revan teams. And I thought I might as well add into that and to make it a bit more well-known what these look like, especially for the next season of 5v5 and even for 3v3. This might be something worth going and setting. So we all know and love Darth Revan and that whole Sith Empire team, okay? So let's just go over to it for a second. You know, the whole modding here, we go into it very in-depthly, but for those of you who are, you know, well-versed into this team, you like to have a fast Darth Revan and a fast BSF and a fast Maul. A lot of fast speed sets, right? And that can be a pretty bit of a daunting task in terms of remodding for your GACs and TWs. Well, I want to now go ahead and tell you that you're doing it all wrong if you mod them for fast speeds, because there are counters that can counter even the faster and the fastest of Darth Revans out there. So I'm going to give you in this video a couple different variations of a Darth Revan team that you can set that can stop the troopers, that can stop a mirror match, that can stop bounty hunters. A lot of great and really annoying teams, I guess you could say. So here we go. We're going to go over to the Sith as a general kind of a thing here and just go and show you that there's a lot of great teams out there. I wish I had footage for this today, but you're going to have to take my word on this. This stops some of those counters. Right now in the game, one of the biggest counters to a Darth Revan is troopers with Dark Trooper and just like pounding away at the Sith and getting those easy kills, right? Well, now to stop that, to stop them from getting the TM, whatever the speed bonuses are, to stop them and having your Darth Revan go first, here's what you want to do. Set a Darth Maul lead with your Darth Revan, your Malak, your BSF, and whatever fifth you want to toss in. I like tossing in Marauder because of more damage, and he gets more of that turn meter, right? But it can be really whoever. So, Darth Maul, this is not the new Maul. We'll talk about him later, but right now is just Darth Maul. He is, you know, in terms of like his damage, his usefulness, not like the craziest amazing guy, but in terms of like a competitive GAC mode, especially GAC, I feel like right now, this guy does a lot of wonders because people always like, you know, remodding their troopers or remodding their bounty hunters to get those kills on Darth Revan teams. Well, now with him on his leadership, it makes it pretty much all go away because of this thing right here. His leadership on Dancing Shadows. Get the Zeta, guys. It is so clutch. It says this: all Sith allies gain 20% evasion and gain 20% turn meter and stealth for 1 turn at the start of each encounter and whenever they evade or are critically hit. Also, they can be critically hit while stealth and gain advantage for 2 turns whenever stealth expires. And then it says the stealth and turn meter from this ability ignores taunting allies. So the biggest thing as to why this works so well is the very first sentence, which says they gain 20% turn meter. So that makes it so that a Darth Revan, let's say around 320, 330 speed, gets that nice bit of boosting. And if we do the math there, let's say it's a 330 Darth Revan, which is not crazy speed of Darth Revan at all. You take the 330 and you times by that 1.2, 20% turn meter, and that's around 400. That's 396 speed. So there ain't no shot that there's going to be any bounty hunters. There's no Grief or Bosk or going for troopers, Piet or Moff Gideon that can outspeed that. That is just not going to happen. So that means that Darth Revan can go first, and that can fear the whole entire team with his AoE fear on his insanity. So like right now, I think mine's around 323, nothing too crazy, which if you do the math there, a 323 Darth Revan times the speed from the, or the turn meter from the lead, that's around 387, so it's still pretty good. So I would say one of the best teams for defenses, I'd say, to stop some of those annoying counters would be Darth Revan with Maul, leadership Maul, that is. So what does this mean for like other people and what they typically like to use to counter this team? Well, some people like using Jedi still. Some people actually go ahead and use a Kylo, like a GL Kylo or some sort of a GL. You can also use like a CLS team, but for the most part, people tend to use something a bit bigger. And I would say a nice counter to this that is not too effective or too cost effective would be a Grievous. But guess what? People love setting those teams on defense. So if you were to like have an opponent that set those teams on defense, meanwhile you set this team, and they are typically using in those counters to Darth Revan, they use those CLS, or rather, they use those troopers or those bounty hunters. Well, guess what? They see this team set in the front wall. They almost have to use a bit of a better team, and it could help a lot. It can pull away some really, really important counters, and even GLs. I've had people waste GLs on a team like that. So that kind of goes to show you, right? So that's one great team. A nice little variation of a Darth Revan. I think people get too, engraved in their heads that they have to always sit a Darth Revan leadership. But I feel like right now, especially considering the fact that Darth Vader was just nerfed a little bit ago, and he can't do those big hits like he once was able to, I think this is the next best thing for you to set to stop a lot more counters that we usually see in GAC and TWs. So Darth Maul, Darth Revan, Darth Malak, Sith Marauder, and Basilisk Shan Fallen. Those are probably the best 5 I'd say for a GAC defense. If you want to go more into modding here, go, like I said, fast Darth Revan, pretty good. Malak can be kind of fast. I would go for probably more tenacity though. Marauder's a lot more offense, crit damage. BSF though, I would still say mod her for health and protection and some CA. You still want her to be a bit of a beefy gal. I don't have her the best mod right now, but that's what I would go for if I had better mods to give to her right now. So that's her. And that's the whole team. If you wanted to, let's say you wanted to, strictly stop just the troopers, what we can do here is still use like a Darth Revan leadership or maybe even a Maul, and you can toss in, again, a Nest. So Nest is going to stop those trooper counters pretty hardcore because of the way her unique works with more protection and that over time. I think that's a big thing with Nest and what that kind of just does for the whole team. Especially in stopping some of those counters. I think she's great. I mean, she's not just great in that team, but also she's great in a lot of other teams as well. I think she's still one of the best, in terms of free to play, in terms of plug and play, she's still up there. And I would say, even in Conquest now, she might be even worth it to get higher relics. And I might do that here soon, is to get Nest with higher relics. But anyways, Nest is great to stop some of those trooper teams. Because they can't kill her because of the extra protection up that they give, and that whole TM loop they get themselves into, right? So, I guess to wrap it up, guys, that is a great team, Darth Maul lead. But in terms of the new Maul that we're going to be getting here soon, he's not a Sith, right? But we come back up here to see him. I think he's over here somewhere. Maul's not he's not a Sith, but what he can still bring is in that 5th slot. You know how we were just talking about Darth Maul lead, Malak, Darth Revan, BSF, and that 5th could be a Marauder, it could be like an HK, whoever. Well, why not just toss him in as a 5th? That could be even that much more of a scary team. It could maybe stop that CLS team, that could stop that gas team. Because you gotta keep in mind, I'm not gonna use him for this leadership because this is more Mandalorian focused and based, but his unique can still do a lot of nice damage. Like, crazy. I would say slot him in with Darth Revan teams once you get him, if you're not going to be getting Lord Vader. Because for me, I won't be getting Lord Vader for a long time. As we can see, I'm still having to farm Wrecker and Tech and Embo and gosh, even the other Echo. I mean, there's so many people I got to still get. So in the time, the meanwhile, this Maul is going to be great with a team like the Darth Revan teams, or heck, even for the Sith Eternal Emperor. I mean, there's a lot of great teams to still use him with. So just keep in mind Maul. Maul going forward is going to be a very, very influential character, even without Lord Vader. But this video was more centered around Darth Maul, the OG one, from episode 1, and how he is very great right now in terms of GAC and TW for more competitive modes to stop some of those more common counters. The Darth Revan mirror matches, you can stop bounty hunters, you can stop even some of those troopers. So just kind of it, guys, for today's video. Nothing too crazy, pretty simple and straight to the point. If you guys have any other teams that you guys like to set for GAC defenses or in TW defenses, I mean, probably won't want to share those TW defenses, but if there's any other teams, that you like setting that get those holds, let me know, guys. I would love to know. and see what works best for you. But that's what works best for me. And that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a like, share it around, and sub if you guys have not subbed yet. That's it. Have a great day out there. And until next time, I will see y'all later. Peace out and have a good one. See you guys.